Hey everyone, how are you? Good to see you. I just have to say, what the hell is with the music? When did our music change? That was the weirdest intro music I think I've ever heard. That was bizarre. I didn't do anything. I just logged in today. What the hell was that? What was that? That was so weird. That wasn't me. I didn't do it. Um, I don't know. That was very strange. Good to see you all. How are you all? It's happy Friday. Yeah, it is happy Friday. It's Friday evening. A lot of things to talk about. Hey Wendy, new countdown tune. No, I didn't do anything. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let me go through my let's have a look. Let me play it again. Yeah, it is. They must have done an update on StreamYard. Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't do anything. They must have changed it. I don't know. Oh, it's good. Anyway, it's good to see you. Many things have happened in 24 hours. Many glorious things have happened. Many news articles have come out. The biggest one, I know Trish talked about it a little bit, and you would know that Ping would be watching with an eagle eye last night. Yes, that woman who thinks she's Madeleine McCann has been arrested, charged, and has now been in court. And I gotta say, the evidence that they've put in the brief to the court is compelling. It's very compelling. You know, it is one thing to say, I'm X, Y, and Z, and I'm looking into this, and I'm doing a bit of a discovery about who I am. Fine. But you start rocking up at these people's doorstep, you start calling them, leaving text messages, voicemails, contacting them through social media, and then contacting their children unsolicited. You deserve everything you get. Everything. I don't care. Like that is ridiculous. It is horrible behavior, and I don't think there's any excuse for it. The only thing worse than what she's done is the idiots who keep giving her a platform. These channels that are all like, "Yes, we believe you. Yes, you are definitely Maddie McCann." No. No, 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 no. You are just here to profit off of her because she gets the media attention. That's it. And you don't care about her. If you cared about her, you wouldn't put her on YouTube. You would just tell her, you would just leave her alone, let it die out like we all thought it had over a couple of years ago. And these channels that have reinvigorated it, well, now she's in a jail in the UK because you keep blowing smoke up her ass, telling her that, oh, we all believe you. It's definitely true. No, it's not. Right. So I have an update about that. I don't know if Trish walked you through it, but I actually reached out to that DNA company, okay? They didn't reply to me because a lot of companies are jerks to YouTubers and they're like, "Oh, why would we reply to them?" But Radar Online actually got in touch with that DNA agency, and I will show it to you. They actually said that they never received anything but basically an outline in an email. So he never had any of the DNA. I knew she was taking it out of context. I had a feeling because I'll read you here. This is the email I sent before Radar Online got a comment from them. Here, I'll read you the email I sent to them. Here, Dr. Miller. I said, "Hello, Dr. Miller." I said, "My name is Ping. I am a YouTuber from Nights with Ping. That's my channel." I said, "I'm requesting comment on Julia and her claims." I said, "Here is an example." I gave him a bunch of different things she's posted online. I said, "I want to get your open opinion, not what she is saying online." I said, "Because people edit stuff or mistake what is given to them." I said, "I just want to be sure whatever she's posting is your actual opinion." I said, "Thank you for your time, Ping." They did not reply to me, but it seems like another media agency had very similar questions, and I will show you that now. Here, hold on. Yeah, All right, let's get this up on the screen. Then I can get the camera going. Then I can say hello to everyone. Good to see you all, by the way. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, I'm here. I'm Pings. I'm in Melbourne. It's hot right now, real hot. It's like super hot down here. I think it's like 36 degrees, something up in the 90s. If you're in that weird Fahrenheit type of temperature counting. I know it's freezing cold everywhere in the USA right now. So I hope you're keeping warm. I haven't heard from DJ. Normally, I hear from DJ every day. Every morning, I have like 50 emails from DJ telling me different stuff. I'm worried. I'm worried he's turned into a popsicle. I am really worried. I'm worried he went out there to check his water pipes. They may have broken, sprayed water everywhere, and now he has turned into an icicle. I'm worried. Hopefully, DJ gets back to me. It says here DNA expert used by Polish stalker who claims she is missing Madeleine McCann speaks out after radar revealed tapes of demented woman calling family and the cops. Yeah, she's not Madeleine McCann. Doesn't even look like Madeleine McCann. They say, yeah, but well, let's go to the bit that we want to hear. Yeah, let's go down here. All right. They say a source now tells RadarOnline.com that the DNA expert in no way did a forensic comparison for Julia. Instead, he had a brief look at the data she sent via email and explained what he would need to give a detailed opinion. The insider continued, what Julia has shared is simply the brief email exchange between them in which he states that her DNA is not on the evidence. According to the source, the DNA expert further explained, bottom line, the unknown person presented is not part of the unknown mixture presented. So that's a pretty fat denial, even based off their brief claims, like their brief email of each other. The stuff she's putting online is absolutely horseshit. And these people continually giving, you know, platforming her is ridiculous. Well, now you've driven her into a prison in the UK. She's now been remanded. I don't know how long she's going to be remanded in. Her lawyer says that she's going to have to wait till they can go to a different court, like in Australia, to get bond, basically, to get see if she can get bail. But the court's worried. They don't want her out of the jail because they think she's a risk to the McCann family. So Danny says, I'm getting tired of crazy people. She I don't know what she's claiming anymore. She used to claim that she was Madeleine McCann. She now claims she's, I don't know, Jerry's love child or something. She's deranged. Yeah, she's delusional, 100%. Hey, Juanita, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been doing all right. JDR says Madeleine McCann is dead. She has been since the night they left her alone and went to the restaurant. I don't know when Madeleine McCann died, but I don't think it was too far past the night she went missing. It was either very quickly after that night, within the next 72 hours, or directly after. I don't know how long. That's my opinion. I've watched just about everything on Madeleine McCann over the last almost 20 years, and my opinion is she died either that night or very, very shortly after. She is not alive running around Europe somewhere. No, she's just not. Wendy asked, tired of people claiming their truth about every stupid thing. They think mostly just nuts. Yeah, this woman needs to be left alone, and needs some help. She needs obviously some help about, I don't know, past trauma, things she went through. I don't know. Just she needs to be left alone. And I'm even pissed off at Dr. Phil. Like he put her on her show and made like a big dog and pony show about it. Like that's very silly. You're putting delusions of grandeur into her head, and you're fueling all this. Like the BBC, they made a podcast about her. Like why? What for? There's more important cases out there that need attention. April B said, I don't think the parents should have left the children alone. Look, I get it. It was an accident. I know. I've seen both theories. I've seen both theories. Dr. Phil is terrible. I think he used to be quite good. I think he's devolved into just the scum bucket of true crime because he thinks that's what drives ratings. I preferred him much more in the, mid 2000s, early 2000s when he was actually doing some good work. I think now he just does just, daytime dribble. Hey, Diane, good to see you. I'll say hello to everyone. Hey, I am Onyx, good to see you. Nanalana, JDR, Summer Thunder, good to have you here. Kathy Lynch, my friend Marilyn Landis, April B's here. Wendy R. Juanita, I hope I'm saying your name right. Natasha's here. Nikki, hey Nikki. Mr. Dan Yee, my buddy, good to have you. Greaves Underground, hey, good to have you here too. My friend Lisa's here. Please mention the Beaumont children. The only thing I'll mention about the Beaumont children is there's a new documentary coming out later this year. It's an investigative documentary on the Beaumont children, supposed to unveil what really happened. It's coming out later this year on some documentary service in Australia. Uh, Kathy says, I'm jealous of your temps. That is swimming weather. Swimming weather. Hold that thought. I'll show you something later. Then you tell me if it's swimming weather. Good to see you. Hey, Marjorie. Good to have you, Sean. Thank you for being here. Sean, one of our great contributors to the channel. I think he's partially funded this trip to the mushroom trial by himself. I really do. In a year, he may have funded about $300 of it. he very much could be true. He could take claim to part of it. Justice Jane, hey my friend, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Who else is here? Juanita. Leisha's here. Hey Leisha. Just trying to get everyone. Blaze, Fairchild, no more BS. Lynn D. Hey guys. All right, I think we got just about Rachel's here. Hey Rachel, good to see you. Anyone else? I'm gonna have to say hello later, except for Mamma Mia. Hi, and Moonlight View. Hello. All right, that's it. All right, no more names. There we go. So this tells you everything you need to know if you ask me. I think that this just shows you the lengths she'll go to manipulate anything into her favor and continue to drive that media narrative and keep her name in the papers. And these people that have surrounded her and are sort of, they act like her protector or whatever. No, no, no. You're all just trying to advance your own, things, careers, whatever. You're just trying to hop on that media train. Yeah. And her name's not Wendelt. Her name's Wendell. Her last name doesn't have a T on it. She had to use her real birth name in court about 18 hours ago. And that is not her real name. Her real name is Wendell or Wandell. Wendell, with an A. See? Julia Wandell. That's her real name. She had to confirm it in court. And in court, she had some smart ass comment where she was like, "That's what my court documents say." Like, what are you? What should it say? That you're Madeline McCann? Ain't gonna happen. Your name's Julia. You're gonna have to deal with it. They say a woman who claimed to be Madeline McCann has been remanded in custody after being charged with stalking the missing girl's family by allegedly turning up at their home and contacting them repeatedly. They say Julia Wandell, or has gone by many names online, was arrested at Bristol Airport on Wednesday and appeared in Leicester Magistrate Court on Friday. The 23-year-old is accused of stalking Kate, Jerry, Sean, and Amelia. Is it Amelia or Emile? I don't know. Between the 3rd of January 2024 and the 15th of February 2025, she is alleged to have been at the family home on the 2nd of May and the 7th of December last year. What gives you the right to approach this family? Like, I have my concerns about the McCanns. I have my concerns about Operation Grange and the cost of it. But at the same time, what gives you the God given right to annoy them, rock up at their property unannounced and uninvited, and not just do it once, but do it several times and keep coming back to the UK and doing it over and over again? I mean, you should have seen your arrest coming. You tried to engage with them. They told you to F off. You should have took that as a warning because this is obviously what was gonna happen. They're highly protective. They are highly litigious as well. You can't have looked up much of the McCann case without realizing that Kate and Jerry sued just about fricking everybody. So you should have seen this coming. They're saying Madeline went missing nearly 18 years ago. Yes, will be shortly in a couple of years. It will be the 20th anniversary. They say she went missing shortly before her 4th birthday in what became one of the most high-profile missing person cases in British history. She was last seen by her family at their holiday apartment in Portugal on the 3rd of May, 2007. They say Julia is accused of making calls and sending a letter, voicemails, and WhatsApp messages to Kate and Jerry McCann, and to have sent their children Instagram messages between the 3rd of January and the 29th of December last year. The charges state that the alleged contact had substantial adverse effect on the family's day-to-day activities, and they say when you knew or ought to have known that your course of conduct would cause alarm and distress. They say the stalking offenses all carry a maximum penalty of 12 months in custody or an unlimited fine. They say at Leicester Magistrate Court, the defendant spoke to say her full name was Julia Wandel, according to the court documents, and gave her date of birth and gave no indication as to her plea. She's originally from Poland and was remanded into custody to appear for a plea hearing in the Crown Court on the 7th of April. So she's got a bit of a time to think about her actions between now and her plea hearing in April. Yeah, they're saying a second woman who was arrested with her at the airport, a 60-year-old from Wales, was also arrested at the airport on suspicion of stalking. This is one of her enablers. This person that was arrested is one of these people who keep enabling her. Like, you're willing to pick this person up from the airport and take them to the McCann's or whatever? Like, come on. Apparently, that person was released on bail. And this spokesperson of hers as well is some sort of less than less than approved, appointed, real. This person is just some random guy. I'll show you something. When you search his name, I was doing some research on him last night. He has a website called Effective Media Limited. And when you search for it on Google, it is the most 2-bit website I've ever seen. And it is odd because if you were some sort of high-flying executive, I guarantee you wouldn't have a WordPress icon in your Google results. That tells me everything I need to know about you because it tells me that you are not what you claim. Yeah, I'll show you. So normally these big companies or big law firms or whatever, they put a lot of effort into their online appearance because, that's their business, right? And if you do this one, all right. In the top left-hand corner here, where it says Effective Media Limited, it just has the WordPress logo. That just tells me that someone slapped this together. It says, it's not it's not good. It's not real. It's just some like 2-bit operation. That's like the first thing you change when you make a website, even if it is hosted on WordPress. You change that logo to whatever your branding is. And the fact that he's like, oh, I command $500,000 a year representing people. No, no, don't believe you. Wendy R says, I don't understand how you get away with pretending to be someone you are obviously not. I'm not sure either. Kathy says, someone may have snatched her as she was irresponsibly left alone. What if the parents were involved? I'm not sure, but I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Who is paying for her to keep traveling? Probably the media organizations that keep paying her for interviews. Like, I'm sure she got paid for Dr. Phil, even though they probably said they didn't. She probably got paid for her BBC podcast too. She probably demands a payment. Marilyn says, I watched Dateline and Abby. Yeah, recorded. I didn't watch the 2020 on Gabby Petito, but not yet anyway. Jonna says, hi, Ping, and Ping says, hello. So I don't know what you all think, but to me, this seemed like an eventuality. You can't just keep going online and accusing stuff like this for years and years without thinking that the people you're targeting aren't going to retaliate at some point. I actually think Kate and Jerry probably thought that it kind of ramped up. She had that DNA test and everything fell apart, and they were just happy with that. Like, they were just like, okay, look, she had her moment. It's all said and done. They probably feel a bit sorry for her. But then when she booted back up again with all these supporters who were trying to say, "Oh, you really are, Maddie," um, then she started contacting them and trying to visit them and all this kind of stuff, and it increased. That's when they put their foot down and went, "Hey, you're starting to impact on our lives. You're starting to scare my children. You can't do that." Moonlight View says she has handlers leading her right into Paycheck City. Exactly. That's all these people are. All these people, I wish I could show it to you. I was listening to that BBC documentary on her last night, and I picked up on something. When they ask her questions about like who she is and all the story and stuff like that, she talks very down, like, "Oh, it's very sad. I don't like it. Oh, I was abused when I was younger." And then they ask her this question. They say, "What about your supporters and the people sending you money?" And instantly she perks up and she's all like, "Oh, I love it. I love it. It's all they're really nice and they send me things and they sent me a teddy bear with a heart in it and they send me money." And I was like, "I gotcha. It is literally a money-making operation. That's all it is. You're doing this for the cash. And if you are, that's fine, but at least, try and say you're trying to be an influencer or whatever. Don't try and wrap this into a McCann investigation or whatever. Don't do that. If you wanted to be an influencer, fine, but, that's that's not the right way to do it." And, yeah, I wish I could show it to you. I think we'd get pinged on it though. Hold on, I'll see if I can. 'Cause it's really weird. Like, her attitude just changes in a second. BBC. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. Now playing with no, that's not it. It's called something like da, 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 da. Let's see if it's on this webpage or not. It's not, but it's a BBC podcast called Why Do You Hate Me? And it's all about like this is how they framed it. They framed it like she's some sort of victim because of the bullying from online. I think when you say stupid things online, like I'm Madeline McCann, you sort of deserve the backlash that you get because you said it. You made a social media handle that said I am Madeline McCann. What else do you want people to do when they find out that you're full of crap? All right. Let's see if I can. I don't know if we can play it. No, that's not it. It's this one. God, there. It's all right. Yeah, I don't know how much we can play of it.
Long, dark blonde hair, which is we always tried to understand all situations. But she says she did hear back from a representative of the
to find their child. So, because
she only turned to posting online
social media like everyone, but I think that I would change a little who I am and
their little girl.
Okay, so in this part of it, I'll show you the other part about the money in a second. In this part, they ask her like, "Why did you apologize to McCann's?" and like, "Do you feel bad or whatever?" And this is what she had to say, and I find this like so cold-hearted for someone who she thinks is her mom and dad.
They've
they've not seen her?
I thought that they will reach me out, to be honest.
Julia says she expected Madeline's parents, Jerry and Kate McCann, to get in contact with her directly. They didn't. But she says she did hear back from a representative of the Find Madeline campaign, an organisation set up by the McCanns to try and find their daughter. She also heard back from Missing Person UK. However, she said neither answered her questions.
You said to me there that you thought a bit about how the McCanns might be reacting or feeling. How much did you think about that when you were posting? Because I imagine that for them and for anyone who lived through what they all have done, it must have been very, very hard to see your posts. It must have been very upsetting. How much did you think about that?
I thought about it, but I had to put myself first place because this is my life. And I really wanted to know who I am. And I knew that it could make them feel sad, but they want to find their child. So I believe that this is a hope, always a hope. And I felt that I'm doing right.
If we were
So, in other words, I don't care what they feel. I don't care what they want. I'm going to do whatever I want. And I don't care, oh, it might have made them a bit sad. Oh, who cares? I got to live my life and do the best thing by me. Like, normally that's good advice, but not when you're harassing people, pretending to be their daughter. And then you sent out an apology as well. So, which is it? Are you apologizing or do you not care? Because you can't be both. And that's the issue with her. Summer Thunder said, "Is she playing on the McCann's emotions?" Oh, yeah, definitely. Gayla said they want to find me, not their child. If you believe you are Maddie, right? And she knows she's not Madeline. Let me find the bit about where they talk about like her supporters. I might have to scrub through it. Actually, I'm going to switch you to another page. Give me 2 seconds. I don't think you guys want to hear it. Give me 2 secs, and I'll find it. I'll key it up. All right, I found it. Let's listen to this next bit.
Why did they give it you?
Because they wanted to support me. And this teddy bear has heart beating inside. And they said that this teddy bear name is Hope.
One of the teddy bears Julia shows me from supporters online wears a slogan t-shirt that says, "You got this," and has a button in its chest that makes heartbeat sounds.
You told me a little bit about when you were given some flowers by some supporters, friends. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I met with one girl who belongs to a group of people who supported me, and they gave me flower orchid. And I got also 2 handmade bracelets with words warrior. And the second one's probably fighter, I'm not sure. And I got blanket with Monta and blanket with me.
Were they like fans
Yeah, like friends.
or fans?
No, friends. I've never thought that people who support me or people who follow me are fans. I always thought that they are just people who support me or people who are friends.
Yeah, you can see that complete emotional shift from some of the other parts that she talks in this documentary. And she's very cheerful that these people are behind her and want to help her and support her. I get that if she just like wanted to be an influencer or something, like I said before, I get that. Understand that. But doing it off the back of a famous missing girl who might be one of the world's greatest mysteries of where she is today, that is not okay. Pretending and styling yourself that you're this missing daughter, faking DNA tests, manipulating DNA scientists and then contacting the family repeatedly after being told no, tells me everything I need to know. Jonna, thank you very much. That is a very, very generous super chat. I appreciate that more than anything. Thank you very much. It's very kind. Jonna says, I need help. After listening to this stuff for a while, you may need help. Yes. But thank you. It's very, very generous. I appreciate it. Let's see. Rachel said she's very lost and needs help. Some of these people, they surround people like that they know they can victimize in a different way. And the way they do that is by riding the coattails of the media wave. And that's what's happening here. There's a bunch of people who are surrounding her, either publicly or privately, and they're not doing it for good reason. They're doing it basically to further themselves. And now this lawyer and her PR guy, they're all going to be like ultra famous when this goes to trial. So she's marked down for trial in August of this year. They didn't fine her and let her go. They're like, we're sending you to trial. So she's actually going to trial in the UK in August. So it's all going to be a huge thing. And in a way, you're giving her exactly what she wants. You're giving her that publicity. You're giving her that celebrity that she wants, that she's been craving. That's what she's wanted the whole time. The whole time she wanted to be more than she was. And if you listen to some of the interviews with childhood people that knew Julia, they will tell you, even originally when she was a teenager, she lied about who she was. She lied about her background. She lied about her parents. She lied about she used to say like her parents were wealthy and like diplomats and stuff, and they're not. They're just working class, decent people. And she's always wanted to be something else, and that's okay. Like, a lot of people want something different than what they are, but doing it in this fashion and lying about it and victimizing another missing girl, that's where that line is. You can't go past there, and unfortunately she has. So Lisa, that is very kind. They are digging for the Beaumont children? Hold on. It's probably part of the documentary because that came up like 2 days ago and suddenly they're going on a private search. Yeah, I reckon it's part of the doco. Because that doco started filming like a month ago. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It's part of the documentary. See, a privately funded search has begun at a former factory site. Privately funded. That means police are not involved. That means that this must be part of the big doco that they're filming. Yeah, it says Independent State MP Frank Pangalo, who organised the private dig, said it was likely the last chance to conduct another search before the land was sold. I hope they find something. I hope they find something. I don't know if they will, but I hope they do. We'll talk more on this in a little bit, but yeah, say it's got something to do with. No, there's a different doco. No. There's a different documentary coming out that's even bigger than a 60 Minutes episode. Here, I'll show it. It was announced at the upfront for one of the streaming people this week. Hold on. What's it called? Yeah, they announced it for their slate. After Maria messaged me telling me about they were going to do a new one called Death Cap, I googled it and I found this. I found this actually looking for the Aaron Patterson thing that Maria was telling me about. But where is it? Craig Death Cap. There's another one here for. There's Death Cap. Death Cap's going to be a 3 times 60-minute documentary on Aaron Patterson. This is a different one. Craig Bellamy, that's a coach. Into the Night. Here, it's this one. Into the Night, premiering 2025. is a 4 times 1 hour documentary investigating Australia's most baffling crimes, and I'm pretty sure this one also has the Beaumont children, because when I kept checking into it, that's what popped up. So it should be this one, Into the Night. So keep an eye out for that one later this year. Let's see. Yeah, I saw it in the other. Okay. They're also doing this one. So there you go. There's 2 coming out this year on the Beaumont children. Check my email. Okay. I'll do that one in a second. We've got a full slate. We might be on for like 3 hours tonight. I've got like a billion different stories to update you on. So we're done Julia. I don't want to talk about her anymore. She's in jail. We'll see what happens with her legal case coming up. And yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah, I've got it on my search bar right here, Lisa. I can see it. I can see a bunch of different articles for the dig today. I don't see anything like anything breaking, like dead body or anything. 6 hours ago, 55 minutes ago. Yeah, they're all just announcing the dig from today. I'll have a look at it in a minute. We've got heaps of stories to go through. I got a script that we have to sort of get through. We got time though. I'll do more later on. Why have I got this up? We don't want that. All right. I want to show you something. So someone asked before, let's have a break from talking about bad things for a second. Let's talk about scary things. Let's talk about things that make you not want to swim in the water. So someone said before, it's like, oh, it's lovely water temperature. I think it was Kathy Lynch. Okay. Kathy Lynch, I want to show you what is lurking in the Australian Ocean. Here, this giant tiger shark. This giant tiger shark was washed up on a beach in Australia today. It apparently had bitten a drum line that is supposed to stop sharks. And get this. This is one of the weirdest. That shark is massive, and there's a reason that it is massive. It apparently was pregnant, and it was popping out baby sharks. So apparently, look at its big belly, big pregnant tiger shark. So it bit this line. This chain here has a hook in it, and it's normally connected to a floating drum, and they use it to keep sharks away from shore. But look at that! It's a really, that thing will eat you in one go. And it popped out baby sharks. Look, little tiny baby tiger sharks. Apparently, every time they tried to move it back into the water and they accidentally pressed on her belly, a baby shark would pop out. So she kept popping out all these little baby sharks, and they put her back in the water, and apparently she swam away. She survived, and she went back, and they took the little baby sharks to a different area and released them. And so that is the most monstrous tiger shark I have ever seen. That thing is huge. By the way, this guy looks like Steve Irwin's cousin. He really does. He looks like Steve Irwin's cousin. But yeah, that tiger shark, geez. That is why I don't swim in the ocean in Australia, because these things are lurking everywhere. They are all over our coastline, and Ping just doesn't want to meet one. I'm not interested in swimming with them. Baby shark, baby shark. The dude who dangled his feet in the water in our city and got his feet eaten by invisible sea lice. Oh yeah, I remember that. It beached to have her babies. Do they do that? I thought they just have them in the water or in shallow water. But yeah, so she's apparently had her babies, and she's back eating people again out in the ocean. So there you go. Yeah, I swim in a pool. You know, I have a weird fear of like not water. I can swim really well. I've been swimming since I was like 5 years old. Um, I have a weird kind of like fear of the sharks, right? So even in a pool where I know there's no sharks that live in the pool. Something in my mind says, in that bit where it's very dark at the deep end, something in my mind says there could be a shark there. and it happens to me every time I swim, even in a public pool or one of those Olympic size swimming pools. My mind still says you better be careful. There could be a giant great white that lives in the bottom over there. It's some sort of irrational fear. It's I've had it my entire life. Jonna says, "Do you have incidents with all those sharks?" Nah, we just have tea parties with them. We often invite them over for a barbecue and a beer. Yes, of course we have incidents with them. People get chomped all the time. There was a dude that died last week from being chomped by one. Summer Thunder says, "Well, you get more sharks there than us here on the coast of New Jersey by far." Apparently, the coast of New Jersey from off the coast from Greenland and Canada all the way down to Florida is actually one of the biggest places for sharks in the world. So don't be too cocky. You guys get a lot of sharks. SMP Mama 444, hey, how are you? SMP SMP SP. How are you, my friend? You're not the only one. My sister too has fears the deep end of the bathtub. I like it. I like it. Sean says they chew on my boat propeller sometimes. Yeah, they do that. Blaze says, I had to dissect a tiger shark once in biology class. It had 4 babies in the uterus and 4 eggs ready to top. Really? That would have been an interesting biology class. Lindy says, in a lake or the ocean, I'm always afraid to put my feet straight down, feeling like they would touch something awful. Yeah, rivers and lakes, they can feel a bit squishy. So I get it. Juanita says, I absolutely love sea, but you won't catch me in the water either. Nope. I've seen the sharks out there. I'm not doing it. Yeah, that is scary. Can I come to a shark tea party? You can. You may leave with one less arm. Like you try to pass that tea, and they might, take it off. It's like the lady we read about the other day. Do you guys remember that last weekend? We read about a lady who went swimming and then tried to take a photo with a shark, and the shark bit off her arms. I'm not kidding. She tried to hug the shark and take a photo, and the shark just went chomp and took off both her arms. She is now, unfortunately, very sadly, has no arms because she tried to engage and humanize a wild animal. So that lady had a very bad day. A stingray barb, that's Steve Irwin. Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's very true. Yep, there was a lady, 6-foot shark bites off woman's hands when she tries to engage with the animal and take photographs. So this was in the Turks and Caicos Islands or wherever that is. And yeah, she decided to engage with the shark and try and take a photo, and it bit off her hands. And they had to take her to hospital. So now she has no hands. It's a very silly thing to do. Sean says you can see a lady on YouTube who swims with sharks and knows how to push them away. I've seen that lady, the lady who touches their nose and goes like that. Yeah, she'll get bit one day. Marjorie said that was an unbelievable story. What a stupid thing to do. That's right, it is stupid. A Canadian? Hey, let's not. We have a lot of Canadians who visit this channel. I'm not gonna get involved in your USA versus Canada, little brother war of words. I'm not gonna do that. But what I will do is I will say to our New Zealand people, no, I'm not going to do that either. Let's go here. Joanna says, what was the name of the guy who had a show about animals and got Steve Irwin? Steve Irwin. Marlene says Darwinism in action. She might win the Darwin Award for 2025. Shad, hey, good to see you. Summer says, I got bit by a baby shark in OBX in North Carolina. Bit my ankle. I hate when they bite angles, right angles, 90 degrees, 45 degrees. Hurts a lot when they bite angles. Oh, you mean an ankle? Okay. Not sure what type of shark it was. It was an ankle. It was an angle shark, an angler. That's what it was. Wendy, common sense sorely lacking. Yes, it feels like we are missing common sense in the world today. All right. I want to talk to you about a story in Australia. This story is so that's why I wanted to do a fun story beforehand, because this story is horrific. It is one of the most bizarre, sad, and I can't imagine what the victim's going through, but it is our a title one for the show, okay? This is your trigger warning. It's not gruesome or anything, it's just it's indescribable. Here we go. They say charges for 3 teenage boys after woman was allegedly this word, R word, in her Cairns home while her partner was held at knife point. Apparently, these 3 young teenage boys broke into the Menunda home in Cairns and threatened a man and a woman in their 30s with a knife around 3:30 a.m. on Friday. Police allege the teenagers demanded property and then sexually assaulted the woman for between 10 and 15 minutes before fleeing on foot. They held the husband like with a weapon, and in front of the husband, they sexually assaulted and R-worded the female in front of the husband. That is disgusting. They say officers from the Tactical Crime Squad and Dog Squad responded to the incident and arrested 2 teenagers on McCormick Street about 4:30 a.m. The 15-year-old and 16-year-old boys have both been charged with 11 offenses. They include 5 counts of R-word, 5, 2 counts each of armed robbery and deprivation of liberty, 1 count of entering a dwelling and commit an end to dwelling with intent to break at night while armed in company. Probably just means armed break and enter. They say another boy who was also 15 was later arrested following a foot pursuit just after 5:45 p.m. that day. Dramatic footage of his arrest showed police officers tearing after him down a busy highway before pinning him to the ground on a you know, a road. There you go. Here's some photos of it. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you, this is the body cam footage. And then I'm going to show you the interview with the police inspector. So there you go. You can see them running after the kid. I've never heard of anything like this before. 15 and 16-year-olds breaking into a home, holding knife point.
Under arrest for burglary, sexual assault. I'll pop this up.
So that was them chasing after the third suspect when they found him many hours after the incident. But what is causing these young people to go out there and commit these type of crimes? Look, break and enters always happen. They've been a part of our society since the days we rode horses around. Like, they've been around forever. But the adding in a sexual element to their crimes, this is sort of like advancing and becoming a more common thing. That is that is despicable. It really is. To put a woman through that, not only the woman, but to make the husband watch. I mean, that is the psychological it's psychological torture. It really is. And for the woman, it's physical and mental. It's maybe worse than the break and enter. Like the break and enter you can recover from. It is a feeling of invasion and not feeling safe in your home. But this other part of it is it's 50 times worse. It escalates this crime into a whole new stratosphere. That poor lady. I mean, I don't even know what you can say about it. Yeah, and we don't tend to do that here. How do police officers run with all that gear? They do training. They do training at the academy. They have to wear all the gear, and they have to hop over walls and run and make times and certain things. They have to do this. So, hey, hold on. Yeah, really brutal, awful crime. Yeah, why do they feel like this is a needs to be a part of offending where you have to hurt a poor woman in her home, and like I don't even know as a couple how you recover from that. It's very difficult. I would be, the statistics would tell us that this couple, apparently they're aged in their 30s, most likely won't survive this crime. Their relationship will not survive. That is very sad, but it just shows you how deep this type of offending affects people. I can tell you that the statistics after a woman suffers a SA type of crime, the relationships tend to die off pretty quickly after that because for a variety of psychological, physical, relationship issues, like a whole bunch of things, because it disrupts their lives, it hurts them on multiple levels, it damages the relationship. Like it's very sad. Are they part of a gang? Doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 3 guys and we call them a gang. Doesn't matter if it's 3 guys that are part of a 50 group people and we call them a gang. I mean, I don't think it really matters, but it's just very sad. Let me find. This is Kevin Gowan, the chief detective. Let me see if I can find his interview from today. If I can. If I can. I don't know if I can. Okay, ABC. All right, just let me check the ABC. If they did one, they will have it, and we can check it out, so we can hear a bit more details about it. Let's see. Did they do a live press conference? So in Australia, you get one of 2 types of press conferences. You get a private briefing with media, and they sort of do it in person and to whoever comes to the briefing, or they do one online, but it's closed to certain people. You have to be on their media list, or they do a public one. Most of the time, they do a public one, but I don't know if they did one for this one. Doesn't look like it. So it looks like it was probably a private briefing. Let me just double check here. Yeah, looks like it was a private briefing. All right, that's annoying, but that's okay.
Woman.
Yeah, I'll play this one for you from Channel 9.
A woman has been sexually assaulted at knife point after 3 teenagers broke into her Cairns home. Let's go straight to Josh Bavis now. And Josh, her partner was also held at knife point.
Yes, Melissa, this is a crime that police have described as an abhorrent attack. A couple in their 30s in the suburb of Menunda were asleep in their beds when at about 3:30 this morning they were woken up to 3 teenagers in their bedroom brandishing knives. Police will allege that one of the teenagers held the man at knife point while the other 2 took the woman outside and sexually assaulted her. They have said that the couple and the teenagers were not known to each other. This was a random home invasion.
With over 38 years of policing experience, this to me has been one of the most abhorrent acts committed during a break and enter. 2 people are asleep in bed, the home's invaded, and then 2 people are held at knife point and 1 sexually assaulted. Absolutely abhorrent.
Within an hour of this attack being reported, police managed to track down 2 of the teenagers, aged just 15 and 16. A third remains outstanding. No charges have been laid yet, but police will likely hit the trio with a number of offences. They believe that they're also involved with a number of break and enters in that area. Tonight, the couple are receiving specialist support from a victim support unit. Melissa?
Well, that's good to hear that they're receiving specialist care via probably the police. They have like a family thing that they assign to each family that's a victim. So hopefully. Earthkeeper said, I've noticed an increase of youth violent crime in Australia. Yes, this is true. Good to see you, by the way. Sean says, North Queensland crime by teens is through the roof. North Queensland and Northern Territory are having problems, but Melbourne too. Melbourne's having a crazy increase in youth crime. Same with Sydney as well. Maybe not to those levels, but they're not great. Let me see. Yeah, it's bail reform. Victoria says they're doing a bail review. I doubt it'll do anything. Yeah. SP Mama says, yeah, it matters if the gang is going to do it again or if it's a one-off. I don't think it works. It doesn't work like that. The ones here are just, they're just these group of kids. You can call it a gang if you want, but it's sort of not like the ones you get in America that are like these South American gangs that are coming up and, you know, like the LA gangs that we all know about. It's not like that. They're just kids who give themselves a name because they see it on YouTube or TikTok and they're like, "Oh, we're the East Street Boys" or whatever. Like it's not quite the same. But the offending, what happens down here, I think it probably happens in America too. They get caught for something, say some minor level crime. They get kicked back out on the street. They get caught again. They get kicked back out on the street. Because they're under 18, they just get put through the youth system, and then they come back out again, and they're on the street again, and then their crimes increase in frequency and like violence, and that's the problem we're having down here. SP Mine said, "Yeah, I'm in the US, grew up in CA with LA gangs. Yeah, slightly different. Like these guys aren't walking around carrying like guns and things. Like some of them are, but not like not like in Sydney." Yeah, Sydney has different gang wars, so that's what I mean. They're not that type of gang. They're just groups of youth. As where the gangs in Sydney are real gangs, like they do hits on people and they just shoot people in broad daylight and they're involved in massive drug importation and things like that. Those are sort of like the high level Middle Eastern, Asian gangs, that type of thing. Yeah, they know they're untouchable. That's right. Thavi. Thavi's here. Hey, Thavi. Where's my chat? Yeah, where are you, my friend? There's no family unit anymore. Well, I think they're trying to do something about that. Juanita says, that's a question we need to answer. What's going on with our youth? Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. He wasn't killed last night. He was killed like 3 days ago. We did cover it on one of our late shows. Yeah. That was a guy killed at Wyndham or whatever it's called in the east. Yeah, he got stabbed at a train station. Pretty sure we covered that like 2 days ago. Joanna says, yeah, glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it too. They just learn how to do worse crimes in the system. I agree. Why can't I find her other? Here. Darby said, I was SA before I met my husband. Here's the reason it stopped. We are 30 years married this December. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think you've told that story before. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad that you've been with a good guy for a while and he's been able to help you through it. Yeah, the machete. He got macheted. Yeah, poor guy. Very sad. But I'm pretty sure we did cover it a couple of nights ago. There's no new update. They had like a what do you call it? Like a vigil. They had a vigil for him yesterday. That's probably the news you saw. All right. That's that one. Horrible crime. If I hear more, I will tell you. That's all I really know right now is what I've told you about it. But like that, I don't even know how to tell you like how they go, what to do next for those people. They got a long, hard road to recovering their lives that they were before these people broke into their homes and severely hurt them. I want to tell you a nice story, even though it came out of tragedy. I don't know if you all have seen this this story out of the Philadelphia plane crash. It is one of the greatest stories I think I've read this year, and it was about a guy, and I'll get his name, Kasim Wongus. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He actually rescued a young boy his father was the guy who was killed on the ground when the aeroplane crashed. And it is one of the greatest sort of heroic stories that I've ever heard out of this plane crash. I just want to find the correct article. If I can. Come on, load the freaking thing. All right. Fine. So a lot of the local USA websites have just not been working recently. I am going to have to start running a VPN. They're saying here, a young man has recalled how he had been discussing the horror franchise Final Destination. That's that movie. I think we've all seen it. Just moments before watching a plane fall from the sky. His name is Kasim, yeah, I'm hoping that's his name. Kasim Wongas, 25, had been at a restaurant inside the Roosevelt Mall in Philadelphia with friends. Moments before a Learjet carrying a sick child and medics plummet to the ground and crashed in a fireball. And they said they had a discussion about the film and how the original one is about a group of people who are going on sort of like a school excursion on a flight, and someone freaks out and says they have a premonition of the plane crashing. They make a big deal and they somehow don't go on the plane. And then they watch the plane take off and it explodes and then that's the start of the movie. Eventually, throughout the movie, different characters get picked off by death. And that is a weird thing to be talking about right before a plane falls from the sky in front of you. And it says here that he said a deep rumbling noise emanated from outside of the Philadelphia shopping center and saw a fireball rise over the area from a window. They had just watched the Med Flight 056 burst into flames after crashing to the ground, killing 6 people, including a young girl and her mum on board. He said after stepping out of the mall, he recalls watching a young boy, later identified as a name I'm probably going to get laughed at for trying to pronounce, as a 9-year-old boy. I'm just going to say that. They said he emerged from the flames with fire on his back. He said as others stood by and pulled out their phones to record the appalling scenes, Wongas pulled off his jacket and used it to tamp the flames engulfing the young boy. Holding on to the young man, he darted for a nearby police cruiser and demanded the pair to be rushed to a nearby hospital. Here's a photo of Kasim here. It seems like a decent guy. There's that big fireball. They're saying here, recalling that night, he told the Philadelphia Inquirer that the young boy started to call out for his father, Stephen, through the tears of the pain and the burns that he had. They say in the rear of the cruiser, the youngest tossed and turned in agony and complained that Wonga's jacket was hurting him. When he peeled back the denim jacket, he observed that the young boy's burnt skin was peeling off right in front of him. He also says the young boy started to feel around for his clothes, with his shirt and what was left of his red pants disappearing in the flames. They said he was agitated and he asked for help in taking his shoes off. When he started trying to take them off, he realized that they had been melted to the boy's feet. Apparently, they arrived shortly after to the St. Christopher's Hospital for Children, with emergency crews racing out to meet them with a stretcher, wheeling the boy away for urgent care. They say returning to the patrol car, Wongos recalled clutching his jacket and realizing that there was skin hanging from the inside of it. They say the young boy suffered burns to 90% of his body, and he had been in a car alongside his father and his dad's fiance at the time. Oh man, there's a picture of the little boy here. What a horrific night. And there's Mr. Wongas here. He used a denim jacket. I don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea, but that his actions were a good idea to immediately try and save the little boy, get him to a police officer, and try get them to hospital as soon as possible. They say tragically the young boy's father died in the fire that consumed their vehicle that night. And they're saying here, yeah, so this was the area That's the impact point, that giant crater. But the nice thing to come out of this, right? Apparently, the little boy is still in hospital. Apparently, unfortunately, 90% burns to your body. He's got a long road to recovery. One of the nice things here is that Kasim has been in talks with the family, and they've sort of become a little close because of the tragedy. And the family's been very kind to him. They even mentioned him at the funeral service for Stephen. Even said like how he was such a hero for saving their like the grandchild, and that I honestly believe he deserves a medal. These are the type of heroes that we ask for in society, the people that instead of pulling out a phone, they do the right thing. And it's very warming to know that the family of Stephen who died and their grandchild have sort of included him in the funeral, been nice to him. Apparently, they keep in touch via email, and yeah, it's one of the nice things to come out of such a tragedy. It really is. Let me try to find more about the. He did an interview, but for some reason it's not popping up on my thing here. Ping will learn Spanish one day and how to pronounce some words. One day, not today, but one day. Let's see, 9-year-old boy. Yeah. Let's see if this is it. Yes.
Right now, a community is struggling to return to normalcy following that deadly plane crash in Northeast Philadelphia. Today, investigators released the name of the 7th person killed along Cotman Avenue just 5 days ago. Philadelphia police say 37-year-old Stephen Druitt is the person who was killed inside of a car. Meanwhile, a 9-year-old boy who was a passenger in a car at the time of the crash is still critical tonight, being treated for burns all the way up in Boston. Kelly, how is he doing tonight?
Sheba, that's right. He's in Boston with his mother, 9-year-old Ramses. He is sedated and getting treatment according to his family, and they say 90% of his body was burned. They say he is a very brave little boy, and they know he's fighting to get better.
Why? But only God knows.
Jahaida Morales says she was the first phone call from her best friend Friday evening as she was standing near Cotman Avenue moments after a Learjet medical transport plane crashed. Her friend was safe, but saw something horrific.
She just told me there was a little boy on fire. She was going to, save him, but her husband told her no because, there was flames everywhere, smoke everywhere, and he was scared.
Neither of them knew it at the time, but that little boy turned out to be 9-year-old Ramses, Jahira's nephew, her brother's stepson, who managed to escape a car that caught fire after the crash. As Ramses was rushed to the hospital, the family says he somehow found the strength to give his mom's name, number, and address.
Brave, so brave, knowing he was walking out of that fire. How you get to manage the pain and just remember our phone number in this situation is something amazing.
Ramses' family says he was taken to St. Christopher's Hospital for Children and then flown by helicopter to Boston, where they say he's in critical condition and sedated.
His body is burned 90%. You feel bad because us as family stay together, and we cannot be there.
Yeah, Ramses, that's his name. And yeah, I thought that was weird. So someone else had told her, no, don't go. Are you but anyway, it doesn't matter. They don't get to be the hero of the story. I don't even know. So you hear about Mr. Wongus. So he is the hero. And now you know the story behind how the 9-year-old boy was saved from that fire. If it wasn't for the quick thinking of Kasim, he may not have survived. Time is critical, especially with burn patients and someone that has up to 98% of their body burned. That it's critical they got to that hospital. If he was left on the street to keep burning with the fire, and Mr. Wongus didn't put the fire out, that kid could have joined his father in death, unfortunately. So I really think he should be nominated for a city medal, a Philadelphia, or statewide medal, whatever one they do down there. He definitely showed courage and bravery to disregard his own safety during a plane crash and to rescue a young child he didn't know, get him to help, and take him to a hospital instead of pulling out his phone and filming what he saw in front of him. I think that we need more people like that try and do the right thing rather than pull out their phone and post it to Instagram. So, what a great guy. I don't know, it doesn't say, but look, only one person died on the ground. So the fiance must have lived. I don't know why the male died, but the fiance lived and the child lived. I don't know. But there was only one person that died on the ground, and it was Stephen. So I don't have any information about her. Yeah, there's nothing in this article. Let me try one thing. So where's his full name? Let me try one thing. I'll search up and see if I can just find out what happened to her. So hold on. Stephen Druitt. So Stephen Druitt is his father. Stephen Druitt. What about his fiance? So her name is Dominique Goods. Dominique Goods. So did she survive? Okay, I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh, she was badly injured. Okay. She suffered burns to 70% of her body, unfortunately. So, Ramassus suffered up to 98% burns to his body. And the fiance, the female Dominique, she suffered 70% burns to her body. That's a very horrible recovery. Both of them have a very difficult time. I'm sure the nurses and doctors are taking very good care of them, but it is a very, very painful, sore recovery from in the burns unit. I hope they recover. I really do. But yeah, Mr. Wongus, yeah, he has to be nominated for a great medal. He really does. I'd love to see him get like a town key or something like that. We give town keys to stupid rappers and celebrities. This person took a child from a plane crash and got them to a hospital. I think he deserves a key to the city. I would love to see that happen. What a great source of pride for him that would be, to know that his actions mattered and that the city appreciates it. Here's a photo of him here. This fella here deserves a medal, of some sort of maybe presidential medal. That'd be nice. But if not, a key to the city would be a nice way of showing appreciation for his bravery and action. In a time of chaos, no one knew what was going on. They're just like fireball, like fire, avgas everywhere, and this guy saved a kid's life. We need more people like that. We need more people like this young man. Now, I'm sure someone's going to come out and be like, "Oh, he was a drug dealer or something." Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He, obviously has some good values instilled in him to be able to save a child and knew it was the right thing to do. So, I don't want to hear that. April B says, "I heard, yeah, he is. So he is staying in contact with the family. They SMS and they email, and apparently the grandmother knows him. Like I said, they even had him at the funeral, and they even mentioned him throughout the funeral, and they even like hugged him on stage, and they made sure he was noticed at the funeral and appreciated." Sean says, "Yeah, they can use a donor skin." Yeah, I know. Hope they're both okay. Yeah, years of hard time for both of them, for Dominique and Ramassus. I think they do, yeah. hope that, but it's very painful. It's very painful. Ah, interesting. Darby says, I am learning or learned how to code burns in my medical coding class. Is that like where they call out like a number or like, you know, like B46 at, you know, Ward 3 or whatever? Is that what that is? Medical coding? Or do you like build computers that do medical? I don't know. That's where my mind goes. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Lisa, I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. I very much appreciate it. Yes, if we and for the gifted membership. Thank you. It's very kind. It's very kind. The people who support this channel are some of the kindest people I've ever met. You know, very, very generous and yeah, just very, very kind people. All right. All right. I have another story I want to talk to you about. No, not her. She can go away. Not that one. Not that one. We've got too many tabs open. Ping's got like 50 tabs open. No. Not the tiger shark. We already did that. We're looking for the bad postman in the UK. Here. Northumberland. Northumberland. That's where we want to go. Do we often go to Northumberland? I don't think so. But we are going to go there now. They say a postman who groped multiple women has been jailed. Michael Stewart was found guilty of 12 offenses, including SA and exposure. A postman. He would do this on duty and attack women, going visiting different houses every day. He is a creep of the highest order, Michael Stewart. But when I tell you what happened to one of the victims and you hear the story, you'll be like 12 years, whatever it was. What was it? No, 6.5 years. You will say that that is not enough. They say a disgusting postman who abused his position to grope multiple women, with one of the victims taking their own life, has been jailed for 6.5 years. Michael Stewart, 63, targeted several women when he was making deliveries in Northumberland. Newcastle Crown Court has heard. 2 of his victims have since died, with Judge Robert Spragg saying one of them has taken their own life as a direct result of Stewart's actions and Royal Mail's failure to respond to complaints about him. One of his victims told BBC Royal Mail took no appropriate action against Stewart. The firm has since apologized and said it has made changes. What good is that for apologizing after the woman already is dead? You know, who cares about your apology? They're never going to bring back that woman. And she was so distraught, apparently, that she tried to take action against Stewart several times, including making a formal complaint, ringing the Royal Mail hotline, and she actually took her life while she was on the phone to Royal Mail because she was that distressed about what happened to her. And the Royal Mail only now announces changes and apologizes. That doesn't even help. She's gone. You know, you could have helped her when she was around. It is one of the most horrific things I've ever heard. Here, let me continue. They say Stewart of Windsor Terrace in Amble was, I'm probably saying that wrong, Amble, was found guilty of 12 offenses, including SA, exposure, and harassment. In a statement read to the court, the family of one of his victims said, "We blame Stewart's offending against the woman, unnamed, for her mental state and eventual S word." They say the woman's mother said their lives had been destroyed by her death, which he said was also contributed to by Royal Mail's failure to take action against him. Judge Robert Spragg said while there were numerous factors involved in her S word, he was satisfied the woman's death was a direct result of what Stewart did. The judge continues, had you not behaved in this manner towards her, it is clear she would not have suffered the severe psychological harm that she did, leading to the loss of her life. The judge also said Royal Mail's inadequate response contributed to her distress. Another victim said she felt guilt, anger, and sadness that two of his victims took their own lives. She said Stewart went from a nice guy who delivered the post and who had a kind word and a cheeky smile to someone she said she had to hide from because she was scared. The woman said she was disgusted by Stewart, a grandfather who had worked for Royal Mail for 22 years, and that he had tainted lives. The court heard the woman complain to Royal Mail that he SA'd her, but after initially being moved, he was soon put back on the same round. The other woman, who has since died, said she had trusted Stewart as a Royal Mail person and that he took advantage of his position. She said he ogled her chest like a kid in a sweet shop before putting his foot inside her front door to prevent it from being closed and grabbing her breast. Judge Sprague said it was an appalling catalogue of abuse against a lone woman for Stewart's own sexual gratification. He said Stewart was popular and hid in plain sight behind a facade of respectability, and his victims were often afraid to report him due to his status. When they did, they were not listened to properly, according to the judge. One of his victims, whose identity cannot be revealed, told the BBC Stewart initially seemed really nice and friendly and always had a joke. But one day, when handling her package, he walked into her home and grabbed her breast. She said she told him to get off, but he was not even bothered by what he did, adding, he said that I wanted it and I didn't. I didn't encourage it. That's the bit that upsets me. The woman said she complained to Royal Mail, but they failed to inform police and just swept it under a rock. She is now seeking compensation from Royal Mail. They say Detective Constable Anthony Gooley said Stewart was a calculating predator who abused his position and subjected his victims to horrific ordeals. Praising the victims for their courage in coming forward, he said it was tragic two of them had not lived to see justice served. I would say 6.5 years is not justice, and it should be more like 25 years due to the deaths of those two people. At a minimum, it should be manslaughter. He contributed directly, like the judge said, directly in their deaths. Even though it was by their own hand, it was his offending that pushed them over the edge. A Royal Mail spokesman said these crimes were abhorrent and had significant and in most cases tragic consequences for the victims. Stewart abused his position of trust. We would like to publicly apologize to the victims, their families, and to others who were targeted. The firm said protection of other people was of the utmost priority, and it had followed the recommendations of an independent review. We implemented changes across the organization, including a multi-year campaign on sexual harassment and culture in the workplace, and new internal reporting tools and clearer codes of conduct and expected behaviors. With people that have to go into people's homes or go to people's doors several times a day, every day, we expect our police to wear a body camera. Why not post people? Why not couriers and people who work for the post office? I mean, I know it's not a widespread thing, but it would cut down on theft, malpractice, a lot of things if they just wore a camera on their daily rounds, and then if they couldn't offend because the camera should be able to catch them. I mean, I think that's a way of stopping these predators in their tracks is by making them wear a body camera every day. I know. He's a mailman, I know. Hey, I like mailmen. They do a good job. Most of them are good people. I love my mailman. I have a mailman who is American, which is funny. I think he used to work for USPS in America, but now he works for Australia Post, and I love my mailman. He's an awesome dude. He's a nice guy. Woman of Steel said he should have called police. She should have called police herself, not blaming her. I think she did report it. Here in the US, she would have been within her rights to stop him with any way possible, like with a gun. Yeah. Gladys said the postman doesn't really have to come in contact with people. You don't have to answer the door for the mailman. Even if they have a certified letter, you can sign for it at the post office. Well, that's true, but Carolina, hey, how are you? This is so heartbreaking. She took her own precious life because no one believed her. That's right. She was on the phone to Royal Mail when she took her life because she thought she wasn't being listened to. Woman of Steel said, my brother is a postman. He's wonderful. I love my postman. He's a great guy. I really do. He's a great postman. He does a great job, always, helps me out, knows where to leave my packages. Like we've come to an agreement. When I first had him, we hated each other because I was like, "Stop giving me the freaking cards. I'm here. Just leave my packages. If you don't want to come up to the units, that's fine. Just leave them at the front door. I'll come and get them." And then we sort of had a bit of a chat and shook hands, and now we have an agreement, and we've had that agreement for about, I don't know, half a decade, and we've been good mates ever since. But yeah, when he first came around, we had a bit of a argy bargy. We had a bit of a disagreement on how he did packages. But since then, it's been fine. We're good friends. We've been good buddies ever since. Glitter says a postman. Yeah, I read that one. Okay. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I agree. A good argument to start a friendship. Yeah, now we're good friends. Like, I love seeing him. Do you know my scanner went off for Hume, Victoria, Australia? Hume? For what exactly? For what? Fire? Ambulance? It's hot. It's probably fire. It's really hot. It's probably bushfire. Hold on. Hume's up north. It's up north. Yeah, it's a bushfire. Bushfire. I can see it. It must be this one. Yeah, I'll show you guys. It must be, it's either this here. There is a watch and act. There is a watch and act grass fire. And then there's a big one up here. What's this? This is, you know what's funny? Do you remember that a couple of weeks ago I tried to show you on this map that we have the bird flu thing, that's why you can't get eggs. And when I went to show you, they had taken it away. Well, it's back again. It's back now in a different location in Aurora. So now we have a bird thing where it's taking all the chickens. So it's got avian affluenza. So it's at these chicken farms up here in Aurora in Victoria. So we can't seem to get rid of it. But no, your scanner alert must be this fire here, this grass fire near Kilmore. And this is really bad. Kilmore is the place where some of the fire from Black Saturday back in like a decade ago happened in Kilmore. So this poor community's had enough fire to last a lifetime. But how many things are going on here? Country Road, okay. What does it say? 20 vehicles and it's under control. So it seems like it's okay. It's not going to be a big fire. Seems like it's going to be fine. They've already got it under control, and they've got 20 tankers out there already. So it seems like it's going to be okay. Was on the Monash yesterday. I've never seen my scanner go off for another country before. Really? That's weird. Is there anything else going on? That looks like the only fire, thank God. I mean, there's some little ones, like these ones and that. But I don't see any others. What's that? What does that say? Bushfire. 5:04 p.m. today, about 4 minutes ago. There is a bushfire on Blakeville Bing. I can't even read that. Blakeville Binks Road that is not under control. Okay. So it looks like there is another fire out here as well near Ballon. So there's I've got a couple of fires, one in the north and one in the west right now. What's going on down here? There's one in the city. Structure fire in the city down on Flinders Street. Flinders Lane. A bit of a fire. Okay. So this is the fire map. So if you don't know what we're looking at, this tells you everything going on in the state of Victoria. So you can see fires. Actually, there's a fire down here. in Brighton. Tree down. What's going on here? This is in my area, actually. Brighton, six vehicles. Jeez, must be a hell of a fire down in Brighton. All right. Well, thanks for telling me. I appreciate it. You need to see a second email. Huh, okay. Yeah. This is from Sean. It says watch raid staged and shop boss knew, according to the court. They say an alleged robbery which took $1.38 million worth of watches, or 1.38 million pound of watches, were stolen from a shop in southwest London, was staged, and everyone involved consented, including a store manager who later took his own life. Oh, well, that is clever. So what did they do? They just set it up for like an insurance job? Yeah, it sounds like they're very stupid. Yeah. Sounds like they had an agreement to rip the store off. They say giving evidence at Woolwich Crown Court, Mr. Kunu repeatedly said this was not a robbery, this was staged, adding that he was to be paid £5,000 for putting watches in a bag. The store's office manager, Oliver White, 27, took his life the following day. As a direct result of the raid, jurors were previously told. They say Mr. Kunu told the court he had been recruited to take part in a fake robbery, believing it to be an insurance scam. If he had thought it was genuine, he would not have taken part. I knew that the person in the shop was going to comply. I knew that I was going to put the watches in the bag, and I had to do nothing else. Two other men said to be involved in the raid, Michael Ashman and Kyle Barridge, are still at large, having fled abroad soon afterwards. All right, let's see if we can find a thing here. See if we can find a BBC thing on it. Oh, my computer is slowing down because of the heat. Very hot here today. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, watch. Don't seem like I can find one. Oh, you would have thought this would be a huge news story in the UK. They're saying the organizer of a $1.4 million watch heist that led to the luxury store manager killing himself is facing jail after he was found tonight guilty of planning the robbery. They say Oliver Ollie White, 27, was restrained with cable ties during the heist at 247 Kettle Store in Richmond in West London in May last year. They say 70 uninsured watches, including a £30,000 Rolex Sky Dweller, were taken while the business owner Connor Thornton and Joe Riley were in New York. Mr. White had offered the store owners £14,000 he had been saving up to put a deposit down on a flat with his girlfriend. They flew back to London for an emergency meeting with Mr. White. The following day, he took his own life in Woodland in Shepparton, where he had played as a boy, and was found there by a close friend. Self-confessed weed dealer Manix Pedro, 37, who detectives describe as the heist organizer, helped to plan the raid and supplied a stolen Audi used as a getaway car, according to the court. So this was the guy that actually unfortunately died. Here's another guy. So they say Pedro was tonight convicted by the jury of 11. One had to be discharged after the trial overran, of conspiracy to rob after 23 hours of deliberations spanning nearly a week. The jury is still considering its verdict against Junior Kunu, 29, who is said to be one of the two other men who robbed the shop. And they say the two other suspects, Bowridge and Michael Ashman, have fled abroad, while a fifth suspect is also on the run. They said Pedro had denied any involvement in the plot and said he was in the gym with his girlfriend 2 days earlier when the raiders carried out a dry run at the store. He had told the court there was a shadowy characters involved, putting hits on people, and said there were £150,000 bounties on the heads of Kunu and Bowridge. Pedro said one person has died and we do not know it was an S word. Kunu claimed it was not a robbery because the store manager was in on it. They say Pedro of Cobham, Surrey, denied but was convicted of conspiracy to commit robbery between February 8, 2024 and the 26th of May, 2024. Kunu of Mitcham, South London, denies the same charge, and the jury will now resume its deliberations against him on Friday. Jeez, it seems like a insurance job or whatever it was has really messed with a bunch of people's lives. Like all these people have just had messed up lives after they tried to rip off the store. Like one guy died, two of them have to be overseas somewhere. A couple of them are now in court and will probably be going to jail. Brutal. Yeah, the heat is no good for the tech. That is right. No, yeah. Gala says not seen anything about it. Glitter says very cold here. How's it going with the house? Did you find a new home? Let me know. Let's see. Glitter says the things people do for money. I know. A lot of robberies on the streets in London. Yes. If they come here, they will be caught. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, that's a lot of money. 1.38 million pound. It's not a small amount of money, no. All right. Thanks for sending that in, Sean. That is a weird one. The fact that it's almost like Final Destination. Everyone that was involved has sort of had really screwed up lives after the event took place. Okay, give me a sec. I just want to fix something. Hold on. All right, sorry, I had to fix the aircon. Poor Muffin was getting hot. Poor Muff. Muff, what's wrong? Muffin. Muff. Muff. Hey. Oh no, he's run away. Let's see. And I'll never complain about my house again. Oh, what happened? I don't know. Did you give an update or did you just say you'll never complain about your house again? I don't know. Let me know. Did you somehow patch it up with the guy, did you? Did you somehow like get him to withdraw the notice? Sean says at first I thought it was a tragic story, but he was in on it, yeah. Maybe he doesn't like the fan. I don't know. Muff. Hold on, guys. I don't know what he's looking at. Hold on. Right, he's back. Hey, Muff. He came back. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He just doesn't like the heat. It's quite hot right now. Let's see. What temperature is it? Yeah, it's quite warm. Look, 35.6 out here right now. I think we're the hottest place in Australia right now. Yeah, we are. So we're the southernmost place in Australia, but we're the hottest place. But it looks like there's a cold front or a low pressure system coming through. You can see it's in South Australia right now. So it's eventually going to push east here into Victoria, probably overnight tonight. But tomorrow's still warm, 31 degrees, and then we get a cold front and we drop to like 20s, and then it's mid 30s again in the middle of the week, and then back down to the low 20s. We're starting to see that dip in temperatures, so we're definitely heading into like what you guys would call fall, and we call autumn. So we're heading into our autumn temperatures, and these big 30-degree days should start getting fewer and far between as we head into March and April. By April, it should start being pretty cold out there. So we're going into our cold period now. By the way, from the 1st of March, you should start to see some more earlier shows as we gear up to go to trial for Erin Patterson. You should start seeing some more 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern live shows. So, do you still have to go after the month, or are you gonna fight it? Because you're pretty close to that month now. You're pretty close to that 1 month notice. See, Ping remembers everything. Not everything. I have a terrible memory. Cold front. Yeah, cold front. You have about Sydney. Okay. What is it? What? A man woke up on a crane. I have to play this. Hold on. Oh, let's watch this. Just for a second. It's only a minute long.
Imagine waking here, a sky-high slumber on the edge of a concrete ballast at the top of a 33-story tower.
And then blacked out and then woke up at the top of the crane.
A night at the casino ending with a 23-year-old gambling with his life.
I don't think there's any tables up there where you can win big odds.
Luck was on his side, though. He woke before he rolled, made his way into the cabin and phoned a friend.
He just had a bit of a night, had a few things go too wrong for him, and then went into a bit of an episode.
Police and technical rescue crews scaled the crane to escort him back down. He told them he couldn't remember how he got there, but likely won't forget this. Watched on by a growing crowd gathered below in the middle of busy Broadbeach, surrounded by police and fire crews who had closed the road to keep everyone safe.
What a dumbass. There was a guy that died from doing that. He fell asleep. I can't remember what it was, if it was a crane or someone else very high, and he rolled. No, it wasn't that. It was a person camping on a mountain. You know how they suspend themselves on like the thing with the tent, and they sort of hook up a tent that's suspended on the rope. I don't know how it happened, but somehow they rolled too far and they made the tent collapse, and they fell straight down the mountain and they died. Yeah, I will. How fast do you want me to do it? We've got heaps of time. I don't have to go anywhere. It's hot. I ain't going anywhere. Glitter says a normal, decent, regular home. Yeah, that'd be nice. I hope you do. Wait, hold on. Let me read it again. I found something. I gave the landlord part of the money, what I had to hold it for me until the 1st. Hope to come up with the rest of the money by the 1st so we can move. I hope it's really good, my friend. That landlord that you have is just a massive cunt. That's what he is. Sorry about the language, but that's what he is. He's an asshole. By the way, as soon as Glitter moves, I'll show you his name and who he is, and I'll show you how much of a slumlord he is, because that's exactly what he is. He's a slumlord. He is literally a slumlord. I feel bad for Glitter. Like, he is an asshat to the 9th degree. He is just a scumbag, and the things he does to his tenants, he should be reported to the like the agency. I don't want to say the right one, but the housing agency. I don't want to say where Glitter is located, but yeah, he's an ass. F that guy. I'd kick him in the head if I ever saw him. He's a squirmy, smarmy little beep. Like, yeah, pressuring tenants and not keeping their house in a decent shape is gross. She does. I think she does. She told me she does. True. Yeah, I'm sure your son appreciates. Hopefully you can get somewhere where he can have his own room. and you can live in like a room and be a normal young guy. That would be nice. All right, fine. I will do the Beaumont children, but I got to admit, Lisa, the Beaumont children, my interest in it is about, sorry, it's about 0. Not that I won't do it for you. My interest in it is very, very little. I was just way before my time. Like it's funny. I get like that with some cases. I've got to have some sort of emotional connection with it. Like the ones we do now, because they happen right now. They're happening in the world right now. Or the ones I remember from when I was younger. But Beaumont children happened so far before my time. I don't remember any of it. It was never in the media when I was growing up. Like it's not something I really know a lot of. I know what happened, but I don't really know the ins and outs of it. Let me see if I can find. Okay, let's go to channel 7. We've used a lot of channel 7 tonight. Prefer to use ABC where I can. Actually, yeah, I prefer to use ABC. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh no, we're gonna have to use this one. Good working.
Now to some exclusive details about a dig that hopes to solve South Australia's most enduring mystery. A new search for the Beaumont children begins tomorrow, and for the first time, 7 News can reveal the extraordinary discovery that lured investigators back.
This piece of land at North Plympton has long been put forward as the possible gravesite of Jane, Anna and Grant Beaumont. But never before has the now bulldozed Castleoy factory been this easy to excavate.
And we're doing twice as wide and twice as deep. So it's a massive undertaking.
The last dig here was back in 2018. Nothing was found. But tomorrow, earth will be broken at 3 possible grave sites. An experienced team, including forensic archaeologists, will dig and sift by hand.
There's a new site and they may not have dug in the right place last time.
Former homicide detectives Bill Hayes and Steve Van Apperen, who have been looking at the case for decades, say evidence is building. And it all points towards one man, local businessman Harry Phipps.
The circumstantial evidence does point in a certain direction, and with a lot of these cases, if you don't search, you're not going to find.
2 men now in their 70s were paid by Phipps to dig a large grave-sized hole in his factory grounds, a place that a former work colleague say he'd stop and stare at every afternoon.
That's serial killer behaviour, where they go back to the place of the kill or where they've left the kill.
And tonight, 7 News can reveal bold new details. It's claimed that Harry Phipps had this whole site raised, tons of dirt trucked in from the northern suburbs to lift the ground by 2 metres not long after the children disappeared, which is why this time investigators are digging deeper. Phipps also lived near Collie Reserve at Glenelg, where the kids were last seen on Australia Day 1966.
The morning of the abduction, the 2 younger children got up before the sister Jane and had come out to the mother, and they were jokingly saying to the mother, "Jane's got a boyfriend, Jane's got a boyfriend."
Police aren't involved in tomorrow's dig, at least not yet. But if any new evidence is found, this site will be declared a crime scene. 7 News will bring you the developments as they happen.
There you go. Maybe some answers. Don't know. We'll see what happens if they find anything. I'm more interested in the SA one, the one from the Oval. The one with the little girl, the 2 girls that were picked up from the football oval. We've done a show on them a few times. That one interests me more than this one. I don't know why this one doesn't pique my interest. It just doesn't. But I'd be happy if they found them. That'd be great news. It would be an end to one of the greatest mysteries in Australia. But I don't know. It's just weird. You get attached to some cases, but you don't in others. It's like me, like John Benet Ramsey. I have no interest in John Benet Ramsey at all. I'm happy if they solve it. I'm happy if they arrest someone, but I have no interest in doing any show on it, really. I just don't care enough. Care about JBR, I just don't care about all the minutiae and all that. Morgan Nick. Yeah, I think it is Morgan Nick. Yeah, disappearance of Morgan Nick. It was at no. That's America. No, SA in South Australia. No. Yeah, Joanne Ratcliffe and Christy Jane Gordon. That's the one I'm talking about. That one is interesting because I don't know, for some reason they actually thought that that might actually be connected to each other, but I don't know. They thought that they might be connected to the Beaumont children, but I don't fully believe that, to be honest. Yeah, you guys can see it. If I can put this on. They did a under investigation on it a couple of years ago. I can't play anything from it, unfortunately, but I can show it to you. So, Liz Hayes. Liz Hayes has left the Nine network now. So we won't see any more under investigation episodes with her. She's gone. She quit Channel 9 about a couple of months ago. So no more under investigation with Liz Hayes. They say here, 49 years ago, Joanne Ratcliffe, aged 11, and Christy Gordon, aged 4, were abducted from an Adelaide Oval. What happened to the pair remains one of the most baffling mysteries in Australia. They say Joanne and Christy disappeared from an Adelaide Oval while attending a football game on Saturday, August 25th, 1973. Only a handful of witnesses saw the abduction. They all provided a similar description of the suspect, a tall, thin-faced man wearing a wide-brimmed hat. Several witnesses stated they saw Joanne kicking and punching the man as he dragged her away whilst holding the younger Christy in his arms. The altercation was mistaken by several witnesses as a family dispute. The girls were never found again. And there's a photo of the two young girls. So, oh, what year was the Beaumont children? 1960 something? Hold on, I can tell you. 1970? I don't know. Yeah, 26th of January, which is Australia Day, 1966. So very, very earlier on, a number of years before Ping was born. 1966. Marjorie, good night, my friend. See you later. Have a good night. What if family stopped them? No, they're saying that people mistakenly thought it was a family matter. Like the kids were just fighting with mum and dad. They didn't want to leave the Oval or something. It wasn't that. It was actually an abduction. So, yeah, it's way before I was born too. The year of decimal currency. I didn't know that, Nikki. I didn't know that. Kaliza said, crazy, no one stepped in and said anything when the girls were taken. I know. The reason you weren't allowed to go anywhere when you were born. That makes sense. But yeah, this one was a few years after. So the one that you heard about, the Beaumont children, was 1966, and Joanne and Christy were 1973. So about 7 years later, after the Beaumont children, these two other girls were taken from this, not the same area, but not too far away from the Beaumont children. But yeah, one of my very interested whether this can ever be solved, and what happened to Joanne and Christy Gordon. Still never found their remains. They don't really know who could have done it. No real leads or anything. Oh, who is it? Wait, what? April B. Where's my friend April? April. Where is she? April. Hey, April. Amber Alert, Tennessee, 14-year-old girl. Okay. 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 Yeah, I think this was the one someone sent me earlier. Okay, let me try and pick this up. Let's go to WSMV4. No. Okay. They say the TBI has issued an Amber Alert for a 14-year-old girl who was abducted at gunpoint in the Parkway Village area Friday night. Memphis police said the teen was kidnapped by a masked man in the 3000 block of Nightway Road just before 7 p.m. Genesis Rodriguez is 5'2", weighs 94 pounds. She has black and braided hair and was last seen wearing a black jacket, a plaid black and white skirt, and black boots. Police said the suspect had an unknown handgun and was wearing a green camo print jacket. MPD has not released any other details about the abduction. If you have seen Genesis or have any other information that can help police find her, call MPD at 901-545-2677 or Missing Persons at 901-636-4479. There's a photo of her. Let me see if I can find more. There's a little thing here. There's not a lot of media about it. You'd think an Amber Alert with a masked gunman would...
Breaking news is topping the 10 tonight. Take a good look at the girl on your screen. Her name is Genesis Rodriguez, and police say she was abducted tonight from a home in Parkway Village. This happened just a few hours ago on Nightway Road. Genesis is 14 years old. Officers tell us she was taken by a gunman wearing a black ski mask and a green camo jacket. If you've seen Genesis, by all means, call Memphis police.
That's it. That's all they give us. Here, I'll take you back to a photo. They're really not releasing very much. That's all we have. Is she on the Amber Alert? Amber. Let's see if she's on the Amber Alert website. Also another one out of Glendale, Utah. Josephina Jimenez out of Glendale. So there's a second one out of Glendale, Utah. It's a baby. It's a little baby. Here, look. A little baby called Josephina. She's only 1 year old. They say the suspect is identified as Holly Angelina Smith. So she's with someone called Holly Angelina Smith, has abducted this little baby. Happened at Glendale, Salt Lake City, Utah. And here's the suspect here, Holly Smith. Why would she take the baby? Is it her baby? Or she just took someone's child? That's pretty weird. I'll look up this in a moment. Let's see if we can go back to Amber Alerts. Let's go back to Genesis Rodriguez here. Yeah, same information. They describe her as 5 foot tall, 94 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, last seen on the February 21st, 2025 on Nightway Road in Memphis, Tennessee. She was taken by an armed unknown male in a black ski mask and camo jacket. Genesis was last seen wearing a black jacket, plaid black and white skirt, and black boots. If you have seen Genesis or have information regarding her whereabouts, please contact the Memphis Police Department. That's it. That's all we have. So, wait, did it not transfer? Sorry about that. There you go. I will show you that other one though. Josephina. Here. So this little baby from Glendale, Utah. So little baby was taken. For what reason? Don't know. Yeah, there's no real details about it. Holly Smith took her apparently. Okay. Josephina Jimenez. Okay. This was 4 hours ago. I'm just trying to see if I can find any kind of local news on it. Is it not going to play?
We start tonight with breaking news out of Salt Lake City, where police have issued an Amber Alert.
Right now, several agencies are looking for a woman and her 18-month-old daughter that you can see right behind us in the photo here. News specialist Garner Mejia just finishing speaking up with police and joins us with the latest here. And Garner, right now, the search is focused on the west side of Salt Lake City. Is that correct?
That's correct, you guys. What police are telling me is that this remains a very fluid situation. They've been releasing information as they've been able to, but what we're seeing right now is this area here on Post Street and 300 South. We're just west of I-15 and the intersection with I-80, and we've seen police presence here for the last few hours. There's several patrol cars, and they're really focusing in on one particular home. They tell me that this is an area that is known to be visited a lot by the mother who is the suspect in this case. Now, we've seen them talking with residents, and what police are saying is that they're bringing in the U.S. Marshals assisting in the search for 18-month-old baby girl Josefina Jimenez and 32-year-old Holly Angelina Smith, who was supposed to turn her baby over to DCFS earlier today. Now, police say a court order was signed around 1 p.m. Around that same time, Smith was dropped off by the baby's uncle near 1300 South and 1100 West along the Jordan River Trail. That is the second key area that they're really searching.
So it's a custodial dispute, and it's Jimenez. Okay, stupid J's that are H's. See, Ping doesn't know any Spanish. All right, here.
That was the last time that this mother and daughter were seen. Now, DCFS contacted police around 3 p.m. and police have been scouring the area. They tell me that they are concerned going into tonight that the cold weather is going to put this baby at even greater risk.
That is a concern of ours, that she is going to try to sleep outside with the child tonight, and it's too cold for an 18-month-old to be sleeping outside, which is why it's such a concern for us.
Now, Holly Angelina Smith is described as having a slim build, about 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighing about 100 pounds. She has blue eyes with brown hair, which is described as short and unkempt. Smith was last seen wearing also a black Adidas pants, a light color sweater, and blue Vans. The baby is described again as being about 23 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes, and she was wearing a brown onesie. Now, detectives have a reason to believe, they've told us that they think that maybe some family members may be assisting this mother in keeping this baby away or putting her in a dangerous situation. And what they're asking is any community members, if you live along the Jordan River Trail, if you saw a woman with a baby earlier today, please contact 911 immediately.
You know, these type of custody disputes where one parent who loses custody in court takes it upon themselves to take the child anyway, you're giving a lot of people a bad name, including a lot of women who do the right thing by court orders, and a lot of men who try and abide by court orders. You're doing the wrong thing, and you're adding to the stereotype of these women who will take their babies no matter what. Just freaking stop. You can get custody again. It doesn't have to be today, but you can still get and fight for your rights. You don't have to be like this. Do whatever the court feels like is your downfall. Like, what if it's drugs, housing, whatever, and fight to get it back. You can. It's just remember, things in life often are temporary. Often things change with time, and I know it's hard to not be with your child for a period of time, but don't do something like this. It's going to make it so much worse. It's going to make it so much harder. If they end up finding the mum in that, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult for her to explain that at court and say why that was a necessity to do something like this. Yeah, please return the baby. Get through the hard times and work on getting better. That's right. Yeah, so it sounds like unhoused and not able to parent. That's right, and the same thing goes for men too. It happens to the men too. If they break up with the wife and then they keep the house and the man doesn't have a house, they often won't give him the kids either because they want the kids to have a stable home. So it goes both ways. Oh, really? I think it's my friend's granddaughter, the baby. My friend's son died. The baby dated the baby's father. Ah, you might have some insight to it, Four Sons mum. Woman of Steel says, "Fix yourself now. The mum is in deep crap." Yeah, she is making it much worse because it'll go on her court record, and then you've got to somehow explain that away when you do go get custody later, and to assure them that you're going to abide by any rulings of the court. Like that's what they worry about when you go to these court orders. A lot of people shoot down their own, their own court things because the court will just say, "We don't trust you to abide by any order that we give you. So why would we help you out?" And that happens, unfortunately, more than I would care to admit. I've seen it a lot. And if they'd just done the right thing, the court eventually would have helped them out. Would have changed a custody arrangement, done something, made it shared 50-50, something. But when you do things like this, you shoot down, future you is not going to be happy with past you because future you is going to be like, wow, why was I so dumb? Kaliza said it's sad, although sometimes the court gives custody to the wrong parent. The abuser gets the child, then a safe parent kidnaps the child, then it's a mess. Yeah. Women of Steel said jail sentence might be long. Kidnapping is taken pretty seriously. Her dad passed away. Who was the custodial person then? If it's not the dad, okay, the dad passed away. It's very sad. Who was the custodial parent of the child? Was it like grandparents or something? Something like that. Yeah, it is very sad. Yeah, let's see if it's in here. Non-custodial mother. Here. Salt Lake City police were notified by the Utah Division of Child and Family Services that a judge had ordered a 32-year-old Holly Angelina Smith to surrender custody of her daughter. Police then issued the alert for the 18-month-old because she was unlawfully taken by the mother in violation of a court order to surrender the kid. Salt Lake City police are now searching for her. Yeah, no information on who the father, or not father, but who the custodial person might be. Like, where was the child going to go live, or something like that. Like, who was the kid going to be living with? Yeah, it is sad. Maybe foster care, maybe. Oh, okay. Could be a foster parent. Oh, okay. It's very sad, very sad. I hope she doesn't try and sleep outside. It is freezing in Utah right now. Like cold, cold, cold. Too cold for a baby. Too cold for a baby to be outside. Yeah, very, very sad. All right. I think we ran through all the topics. We ran through every topic in the world tonight. We went from Madeline impersonator to sharks to all sorts of different cases. We did like watch robberies and this and that. It's the most action-packed 2-hour true crime show on YouTube. Kaliza said, "Do you wish we had more support for homeless parents?" Yeah, that would be good if there was some way to do that. One set of grandparents possible. Okay. Maybe that's what was going on. The kid may have gone to live with them. Hopefully they find it. I hope when I come back tomorrow night to do the Saturday night show that I'm able to tell you that the child is okay. Same with that girl out of Memphis. Hopefully I have a better update for that for you too. Hey, I love you all very much. Let me check one thing before we go. By the way, I want to thank my friend Jay-Z. I'm going to thank you for that. I just don't want to give your real name out on camera, but thank you very much for your continued support. It means a lot. And Sean too. Both of you have basically been keeping the channel afloat recently, and I appreciate it. It's very kind. Same with Jonna for the super sticker, a $20 super sticker. Thank you very, very much. It's very kind of you. And Lisa for her 2 super chats. It's very appreciated, and for gifting a membership. Thank you very, very much. Oh, that's right. I don't know why I always think it's someone else. It's Woman of Steel. Thank you very much for your 2 donations this week. That is very kind of you. I appreciate it a lot. Kaliza said, thank you, Ping. Please say hi to Muffin. I will. Muffin, come here. Where is he? Hey, Muff. Muff. Hey, baby. Come here. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone? Here, I'll give you some biscuits. Come here. Come here. Hmm? There. Say hello to everyone. Say hello. Say hello. You want to say you're just purring into a microphone? You're just purring into a microphone. That's not how we do stuff, huh? All right. There you go. There you go. You got Purring Muffin to finish the show. Purring Muffin. Purring Muffin. All right. I love you all very, very much. I will see you tomorrow, Sean. Yeah. Monday will be a tough day. Be strong for the rest of the family, and hope it's not too crazy emotional, although I'm sure it will be. Funerals are never easy, but enjoy it. Like, not enjoy, but just appreciate the time with family. Sometimes these funerals are the only time that like the wider family comes together. Even at my grandfather's funeral, like, it was good to see everyone, even though it was a sad day. It was one of those rare opportunities where a lot of the people, extended family, had come in. So, no, no. She's not okay. She's dealing with it. Hey, I love you all very much. Thanks, Summer Thunder. Good to see you, my friend. Moonlight View. Have a great night. My favorite moderator. Well, not my. She is my favorite, but she's my original. But we also have Gayla, and Thavia was here too earlier. I appreciate all 3 of you. Thank you very much. Shouldn't have favorites, but she was the original one. So, all right. Good night. Bye. See you later. Let's get out of here. It's very late. See you later. Bye.